Hey Hebrew fans, today we're going to light up a lightsaber.
If you found enjoyment, like, subscribe, and ring the bell.
So that's the clip I started with, and it's the stop motion of, obviously, my custom Darth Vader. And it took, it's 9 seconds long, around about 30 frames a second, and ended up being 270 frames long. And so I found this app. You can see me kind of messing with it right there. And you take and you put the lightsaber on there, then you hit the plus just to actually lock it in place to say I want this on this frame, click, and then you hit the next frame and you line it up again and click, and the next frame and click. It actually took me longer to put all the lightsaber frames in than it did to create the stop motion for Darth Vader swinging the lightsaber around. So I learned a couple things doing this. One is use a lightsaber sparingly in your videos, because going back and doing the retrofitting of the lightsaber later on is a pain in the patootie. So I'm going to show you guys what app to get, what seemed to work the best. I tried 4 or 5 different methods, and this one seemed to work the best. I tried using my video studio, the special effects, and tried to add it that way. I tried a couple other pieces of software. I tried my paint program and just, adding it one frame at a time. But this one was the quickest and easiest one. So the best way to do this is grab your iDevice, iPhone, iPad, or whatever, and then go to the App Store. And let me go ahead and show you how to look this up. Now I typed in Saber Movie FX. And I found out later on I could have just typed in Saber Movie FX, and I'd probably find it a lot faster. I don't know why my network's going so slow, but there it is. You want the one that looks like a bunch of crayons laying on their side. That's the Saber Movie FX. US, it costs $9.99, so it is a little bit spendy for an app, but it's well worth it. And it has all kinds of cool features. It has all different kinds of lightsabers and colors and swooshes and sounds and everything else in blasts. So once you download this, let's go ahead and open it up, and this is how it works. So you get your lightsaber, and you get to choose the color you want. Of course, I chose red, and my custom lightsaber is a whole lot thicker than the standard lightsaber they have. You'll notice the toys and everything else are usually pretty thin lightsabers. So I want to make a big old bulky fat lightsaber for my He-Man figure. So you do is you just dial this back a little bit, and once you dial this back, then it makes the saber shorter. So when you stretch it to make it bigger, it actually makes it a fatter saber. And it's funny is I watched some kid, I think it's from Australia, and it's like, dude, you're a genius. This kid must have been, I don't know, 10, 12 or something, but he always knew his stuff and knew how to do these lightsabers, and he's the one that sold me on using this piece of software. So you can see it takes a little while to orientate this. One problem with this application is when you go to rotate it left and right, it rotates from the middle of the square, not from where the lightsaber starts. If they made it so the access point was actually where the lightsaber started, it'd be way easier to rotate this, because you just line it up with the beginning of the lightsaber, and then you can rotate it to fit in exactly where you want, and I think it would have worked a whole lot better. Otherwise, you're fighting it all the time, as you can see here, just to get this one just placed just right. Sometimes it takes a little bit of effort. Now I am kind of playing with it a little bit to kind of show you how it works, so you can kind of see the zooming in and out of the lightsaber turning off and on. You can kind of get the effect or the idea of how this works. Now in order to place this saber onto the frame, you have to hit that plus button. If you don't hit the plus button, then you will not get that.
2.5 hours later.
So I went ahead and added all the different lightsabers on every single frame. The cool thing was that I didn't have to put it on all 270 frames, because there were some frames where his lightsaber was out of the view at the end. But you can kind of see how you have to adjust this and zoom it up to make it fit. And then of course you just stick it on there, making sure you hit your plus on every single frame. Now as you go through each frame, you're going to hit the plus, and then you're going to hit the little forward. Then you're going to hit the check box at the top and that's going to build your movie. Once your movie's built, then you can see the whole entire thing and see how it all kind of works. So let's go ahead and play this for a second and see how that looks. Look at that. We'll look at a much smoother version in a few minutes once I finish it all, but you can kind of get the idea of how it's supposed to look. Now what's cool is all the different options they have for this. Up at the top you can click the 3 dots and get more lightsabers and stuff, and you can do your customs, or you can do blurs, or you can do highlights. And the blur is, let me show you what this looks like for a second. So the blur is like when the lightsaber is moving really fast, and you know, you kind of got that lightsaber blur on there. And I did it on a couple frames just to kind of give it that extra little burst. And then here you can do like a spot flash. So there's this one frame where the lightsaber's pointing directly at the camera, and there it is right there. And I added the blast, you can see right to there, because I figured that would make sense because it's shining right directly at us. So that's when I added that. And you can resize it and rotate it and everything else to make it work just right. So this thing has a whole lot of cool, fun features and functions to it. Again, it is a little spendy. Like I said, US it's $9.99, but it's a one-time purchase and you're done. It's not a monthly thing. So that's pretty much kind of how it works. So on the side here, you can see the 3 different frames that I added this to just for a quick demo, again, to show you. And the green check boxes show you if it's highlighted or not. Now, after you pick it and find it, you can actually change the tint on it, change how see-through it is, and you can change the volume if you had sound effects on it. You can also delete the effect from here. So if you accidentally click the plus too many times, you could go and find it and get rid of that particular one you have. Or you could change the color of the lightsaber. Now the bad news is the next frame you go to, the lightsaber is going to be the original color. So you have to do this ahead of time, and I would suggest doing it under your custom effects is where you'll want to go through and actually change the color ahead of time and save it. That way then you have the exact color you want for your lightsaber. You want a, you know, crazy kind of turquoise one, or you want one that's you know, purple or whatever. You can take and slide it to get exactly what you want, and then save that effect and then place them all on there. Don't try to go back and change all the colors after you've done this. So it's kind of cool. You can take each one of the effects they already have, there's a lot of them, and just change the tint of it ahead of time and then save that custom effect. So it does have some cool features. Again, I wish that you could rotate the object from where the blade starts to come out at. That'd be a huge plus. And there's some other little things too. I wish you could change the shape of the lightsaber, because like my lightsaber, personally, it bulges in the bottom almost like how a jet blast comes out. I purposely made my custom one like that, and you can't see it once you add the blade on there. Anyway, here's the sound effects, and it's got different sound effects you can choose and put onto your slides as well. I didn't really play at this because I made my own sound effects. I basically just made sound effects by going with my mouth, to, as you'll see when you watch the final complete one. But there's a lot of fun features on this. I would suggest, you know, if you're going to do some lightsabering stuff on your videos, this is the one to use. Now in a few minutes I'm going to show you guys the completed version, actually less than a minute. So let me go, oh, look at this. You can do one that's has the cool blast effect around it, and each frame it changes it slightly. Now at 30 frames a second it does go pretty quick. So if you do lay it on here, I'll lay a couple on here, and notice you got to hit plus each time to add it. Now I think I might have hit plus twice accidentally on one frame, so let me show you how to go through and remove that. Let's see. You know what? I don't think I do show you that. Anyway, let me go ahead and show you the final product. Here you go.
If you found enjoyment, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Do it! If you found enjoyment, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Do it! If you found enjoyment, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Do it!